He is not scared to let it go. That's where the energy of this offense comes from.
There was no sophomore slump to be found last week. All 4 2020 rookie starting quarterbacks walked away victorious, but only one of them returned from major injury. I sat down with Cincinnati's Joe Burrow, who seems to have taken quiet command in the Queen City that is starved for a new king.
Joe Burrow is down.
Joe's hurt.
And he's grabbing his left knee, and he's in pain. Biggest nightmare for Bengals fans. It's an injury to rookie quarterback Joe Burrow.
Joe Burrow back for the first time since that injury in November.
All right, so you waited till after the win on Sunday to take to Instagram and write, "I'm back." How good did it feel to write that?
Felt very, very good. You know, it was very tough to, lay in bed and watch the last, however many, 6 games of the season last year, knowing I couldn't do anything about it. Tried to be involved the best I could, but obviously it's not the same. I'm excited to be back out there. I think the fans are excited to have me back out there.
How great is it to have this place filled like it was?
Yeah.
You know, I mean, you didn't have that first year.
Yeah, it was great. I wasn't really sure what it was going to be like. We never had a full stadium, and so that was exciting that we have that kind of energy in the stadium. It was a lot of fun to give them something to cheer about.
Yeah, and a very familiar target.
Yeah.
How happy were you when you knew that your squad was going to be taking your former teammate?
I was very excited. He's a great person that works really hard on and off the field, and he's a great friend of mine as well.
Were you surprised that they took Jamar first over, let's say, an offensive lineman?
I wouldn't say I was surprised. The organization did a great job of making me feel like I was in the loop. We brought in a lot of free agents, and they've all fit in perfectly with what we're trying to build in the locker room. I think that's the first step in becoming the team that we want to.
That's huge. We just listened to an Aaron Rodgers press conference in the offseason, and he wishes that he could get more of a say or at least be invited to the table to have that conversation. So what does that say to you about how this organization feels about the future of their franchise and you?
Nobody expects to be the final say on anything, but even if I don't give an opinion, it's nice that they, made me feel included in the thought process. They really handled it the right way.
Bengals fans excited to have Joe Burrow back.
Burrow, end zone throw, touchdown, T. Higgins. The Bengals win their opener in overtime.
This is going to be a fun team to watch.
What can Bengals fans be excited about this year?
I think we're going to have a really good team. We played well on Sunday, but there's a lot of room to improve. I think we're just going to keep going like this and this and this. By the end of the season, hopefully we're right in it.
A nice kid he is, Mike. Very confident.
A lot of Tom Brady.
Yeah, when we were just watching, you said that. What stood out for you?
It does. I think just his mannerisms. I think the way he answers the questions.
Yeah.
It's very
methodical,
young, corporate kind of. You know what I'm saying? I'm with the organization type of deal. That's relief.
Yeah, he knows what he's doing.
He's doing the right thing, I would say.
Yeah, and I mean, of course, that's every franchise's worst nightmare, seeing their #1 overall pick go down the way he did last year. And Mike, you've recovered from a bad injury. Were you surprised about how quickly he looked like he returned to form?
Yeah, it takes a real man to suffer a significant injury and then come back and still play with the type of confidence that Joe Burrow has played with. And look, here's a guy that's playing with house money. The team in general, nobody expects them to win the AFC North, kind of learning on the job, but taking advantage of the opportunities that's being given. He played with a lot of swag, a lot of confidence. Next year, we'll be singing a different tune in terms of expectations, but right now, he's getting good training on the job.
Do you say does that take the pressure off of him because that division is so good? No one expects them to come out of there on the top.
Yes, but it's about gaining experience week in and week out.
All right, well, for the Bears offense, Coach, we saw what they did with Fields and Dalton last week. You talk about this team all week long. What should Matt Nagy do?
Well, I mean, the Bear fans need to come to the truth of the matter is that they're going to play 2 quarterbacks for right now. If it's going to be a 2-quarterback system, Mike, I know you're not a fan of it. I'm not either.
Charles is shaking his head, too.
Charles, but here's the deal. A young quarterback, any player, and you guys know this, you need reps, and you need reps in as controlled situation as possible. I would make him the red zone quarterback. The best teams in the red zone are the teams that can run the ball and move the quarterback, where all of a sudden, if you move the quarterback, the defense has to adjust their coverage on the move. That's what he does best. We just talked about Jalen Hurts getting a chance to be successful. That's what Matt Nagy needs to make up his mind with him. And now he's getting first, second, third down. He's getting all the reps in practice. He anticipates the defenses he's going to see. And I think the kid would really be a star
For sure.
But I don't.
My question, Coach, would be is if you trust him in the red zone, why wouldn't you trust him with the rest of the field?
I would, but I truly think there's something in here of Matt Nagy, the head coach, not wanting to totally commit his offense to what Justin Fields does best.
But you got Joe Burrow on the other side today. They playing the Cincinnati Bengals. You got Joe Burrow on the other side, gaining experience, and then you got your #1 pick on the sideline watching another #1 pick. It just don't make sense. The decision got to be made before it's too late, I think, for Matt Nagy.
But I think we're talking about, you know, running a system that Justin Fields can run. But Justin Fields is not a running quarterback.
Yes, he is.
He's not a running quarterback.
4-4.
He can run, but he's not a running quarterback.
When does that decision need to be made? You say you make it this early right now?
I think you do it before it's too late. The last thing you want to do is lose 7 games, 8 games, and then go to Justin, and then they win 8 games.
Give him the time to get the experience now. I just spent all off season, you know, vetting this young man. I drafted him because I need him. I'm not drafting him because I like the way he walks and talks. I drafted him because of the way he plays the game.
There's got to be something. Guys, from a coach's standpoint, there's got to be something missing. You know what I mean? That why they're doing this. That's the only conclusion. And I'm there talking all week long.
Because those coaches have bought into the status quo. Bring a young guy, bringing him along slow. But there's no Brett Favre in Chicago.
Throw him out there.
He's got to sit behind.
Well, 9 different starting quarterbacks since 2015 for Chicago. They're ready to have that main guy.
I had 6 of them.
You know, Coach, we all got problems. Time for the Selly Zone, brought to you by Bud Light. Josh Allen celebrated a big contract extension this offseason. He hopes to finally get his Bills back in the win column today in Miami. And coming up, Colin Cowherd's take on if the Buccaneers will sail away with another Lombardi when Kickoff returns.
And Doug.
Oh, are you using Liberty Mutual's coverage customizer tool? Sorry. Well, since you asked, it finds discounts and policy recommendations, so you only pay for what you need. Limo, you're an animal! Who's got the bird legs now?
Only pay for what you need.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
Don't miss the Masked Singer 2-night premiere event. It all begins Wednesday on Fox.
Just outside of a town called Basic is Basic Lake, where families gather together for some basic fun. And if you have the 2021 Nissan Rogue with 5 drive modes, you can climb above Basic and find a trail where no one else goes. The 2021 Nissan Rogue. Anything but basic.
Get a low $219 per month lease on Rogue, or get 0% financing for up to 72 months on 13 models.
Hey, it's me, the naked old guy in the health club locker room. Look, sometimes naked just isn't cool. Like naked chips in your nachos. Nobody wants to see that.
New double-loaded nachos, fully dressed with more nacho goodness from El Pollo Loco.
Disinformation is everywhere these days, but can it get Californians to doubt what they love most?
Oh my gosh.
I don't know what to say to that.
I'm told it's scientific.
I would need to see the research on that. Dude, that's ridiculous. You can't really believe what is always out there.
Everybody loves me.
Well, there's not enough doubt in the world to make Californians question the wholesome goodness of grandma's and real milk. Got milk?
Hey, check this out.
No, check these out.
I wonder what this does. That's pretty cool.
You know, we could use a new car. Do that again.
Well, that's got to make you feel good.
Let me try. Wow.
How do you feel now?
Like we're getting a new car. This is our lucky day.
Babe, it's a Toyota. Luck has nothing to do with it.
We make it easy. Toyota. Let's go places. 8 free pieces of citrus-marinated, fire-grilled famous pollo? Now that's how you treat familia. Just join Loco Rewards and get 8 free pieces of extra pollo when you buy a $20 familia dinner. Download the app. From El Pollo Loco, feed the flame.
Think premium can't be capable? Think again. Introducing the first ever AT4 lineup. Premium and capable. That's professional grade from GMC. Get 0% financing on most GMC Acadia models, or get 0% financing on most GMC Terrain models. We are professional grade GMC.
Can Tom Brady play till 50? I think I can. I think it's a yes. And plus, in Florida, it's kind of a retiree state, so I feel like I can play and then just glide into retirement.
Retirement. Ooh, definitely overrated. Wow. I won it, and then I retired, and then I won it again. It was pretty easy to do, you know? You just sit at home on the couch, watch some football, come back, and you're a champ.
I know what your favorite ring is. I know you do.
The next one.
Gronk and Brady, it's all sunshine and laughs for those two off the field, but when it's time to work, whole different story. Our buddy Colin Cowherd is exactly the same way. Fun guy, but when he's ready to lock it in, he's a champion in his own right.
What a season for the Buccaneers, better yet, what an offseason. Tampa Bay gave themselves a chance to reach rarefied air, to repeat, run it back. These Bucs are the first championship team to return all 22 starters since the salary cap was even a thing. In this era, when you win now, everybody thinks they're a little better than they are. Empowerment, endorsements, player mobility. What Tampa accomplished this summer, for all intents and purposes, is impossible, unless you heed the gospel of Brady. But more on that later. Once upon a time, consecutive champs were a common occurrence. Green Bay, Miami, Pittsburgh. 8 of the first 14 Super Bowl wins came in back-to-back fashion, followed later by the dynastic decades of the 49ers and Cowboys. It was a stockpile strategy, build for extended success through talent retainment. The cap, of course, would change all that. Over the last 20 years, the only repeat champions were Brady's Patriots. Mostly because, he's an ageless cyborg. But more importantly, system and sacrifice. In New England and now Tampa, Tom's cap hit this year ranks only 15th among active quarterbacks, leaving room for marquee starters to re-sign. That willingness to take less money breaks the mold of salary restriction. Like a doctrine dedicated to winning. An unselfish leader has led to an unselfish locker room, giving the GOAT his 6th opportunity for a rerun.
That's what Coach does. That's why he's home. He was like, hey, I'm going to take the L this week and stay home and save the money on the plane ticket. Coach, it's nice to see you even remotely. We just heard Colin mention that Tampa Bay brought back all 22 of their starters. Back in 1993, you returned 21 of your 22 starters. What was the biggest challenge that season?
Well, the biggest thing, for me, not only did Tampa have all their starters return, they kept all their coaches. I lost 2 of my best coaches. Of course, Dave took the Chicago job. He took my offensive line coach with him. So I had to replace coaches, and then I had to replace a couple of players. And then one of my best players, Emmitt Smith, he held out a couple of ball games, which we lost. So it's a little different. The other thing, Carissa, we had the youngest team in the league when we won that first Super Bowl, so I had to crack the whip. It's a little bit different than Tampa. They've got experienced players, so if they stay healthy, they could repeat.
Why'd you have to leave? See, look what you did to Coach.
I know.
How rude.
I know.
He's out there having to crack the whip, and you're off.
I'll tell you what happened, though, and he preached it. And I think this is why Tampa has a favorite chance to repeat, is when you do win, everybody wants to be associated with the winner. And Jimmy would preach this: when you win, right, opportunities come for everybody. We all benefit when we win. And Tampa being a veteran team, as Jimmy, in the most part, I mean, you get to that point, the ring is a big reason these guys are playing.
Yeah, I was going to say, because we always talk about how difficult it is to repeat. The Bucs looking to be the first team to do that in 18 years. Coach, we love you. We appreciate you. We'll talk to you later. In the meantime, we're going to send it over to Shregs for a look at some of these young players who pose a threat to the Bucs dynasty. Shregs?
Hey, Carissa, we got a new segment. Get the fireworks going.
24/7.
I'm with my jacket. 7, and I'm with 2 legends.
You're going to get comfortable.
Charles Woodson and Michael Vick. Guys, last week, 3 rookie wide receivers in the first round all made debuts, and all were great. Waddle, Chase, and, of course, Devonta Smith. They all have their college quarterbacks throwing them passes in the pros. It's so unique. Mike, what do you think that matters, and what's the significance of that as these guys are starting off their NFL careers?
It's the comfort and the communication. That's the transition. And when you look at these guys, it's just direct carryover from college. But I got to give credit to the coaches who are coaching these guys for not changing things, not trying to reinvent the wheel. The communication and the comfort level is, I know where you're going to be. I know if you can win on the go route. I know if you're breaking in, breaking out. Just makes the game easier for both sides.
Charles, of these 3 wide receivers, which one of them would have kept you up at night the night before a game?
Man, I wish Lil John was playing right now, because I ain't never scared.
Oh, okay.
You know what I'm saying?
All right.
But I like these young guys because each of them, you know, they possess a particular set of skills, if you will. If you look at Devontae Smith here, coming off the line, he's a very unassuming guy, but very quick off the line of scrimmage. Don't get it twisted. You watch this play here, Jalen doesn't go to him, but he's open. He has a step. You look at Jalen Waddle here. He has the top-end speed. Once he's on top of you, he's gone. If this ball is out in front of him, that is an easy touchdown. Jamar Chase, I call him rock-a-bye baby. Why? Because he pushes you to sleep. Look at this route. He's standing there. The DB standing, looking at him. What's he going to do? All of a sudden, he's got 3 or 4 yards of separation. These guys are very special young talents in the NFL. Can't wait to see what they do going forward in their careers.
I'm still getting used to seeing some of these defensive players in, like, single digits. Matthew Judon off the edge wearing number 9. Isaiah Simmons, a linebacker, wearing number 9. Tom Brady was very vocal. He doesn't like it either. Like, as a former quarterback, what's your thoughts on defensive players wearing single digits?
I'm riding with the GOAT on this. I identify defenders by numbers, and it's always been that way.
So you're a quarterback, you want it easy.
I ain't hating. I'm not hating.
What does that mean, though?
You know what? Usually when somebody say they ain't hating.
Okay, defensive end went number 11.
So you just want everything. You want everything to be catered to you as a quarterback.
Yes.
Listen, man, Tom Brady has 7 Super Bowls. He's, I don't know how many MVPs. So now you want to be able to dictate what numbers the defense wear too? Come on, man, get up out of here.
Would you have worn number 2?
Man, I tried.
Did you?
I wish, man, I could have worn number 2, hands down. I would have worn the deuce.
He got to wear number 7.
Got the number 2. I'm going.
Dude, you got to look smooth. You got to look smooth.
Any guy with a low number on him,
slender, and your number 7. I would have had that deuce on coming downhill.
Carissa, what number would you have worn?
21 all day, Dion.
Okay.
Oh, 20 for Dion. What about me?
Hey, man, you can't have both ways. You don't play both ways, so you get to be 24. Dion is 21. We're coming up with the remarriage of Sam Darnold and Robbie Anderson. It was the cat's meow. Chris Myers, shows us if they have what it takes to go the distance when kickoff returns. Man, why you want 21 and 24?
Like many people with moderate to severe ulcerative colitis or Crohn's disease, I was there. Be right back. But my symptoms were keeping me from where I needed to be. So I talked to my doctor and learned Humira is the #1 prescribed biologic for people with UC or Crohn's disease. And Humira helps people achieve remission that can last, so you can experience few or no symptoms.
Humira can lower your ability to fight infections. Serious and sometimes fatal infections, including tuberculosis and cancers, including lymphoma, have happened, as have blood, liver, and nervous system problems, serious allergic reactions, and new or worsening heart failure. Tell your doctor if you've been to areas where certain fungal infections are common, and if you've had TB, hepatitis B, are prone to infections, or have flu-like symptoms or sores. Don't start Humira if you have an infection.
Be there for you and them. Ask your gastroenterologist about Humira. With Humira, remission is possible.
When it's game time, everyone's got a favorite number. Whichever number you go with, you'll get free delivery on Saturdays when you order with Jersey Mike's app. Jersey Mike's, a sub above.
We can finally buy that solid gold rocket ship.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Do we have a rocket ship license?
We have 6 players going, which means our probability of being passed is 92%.
$500,000? We could buy a regular rocket ship!
No more rocket ships.
Feel the NFL action like never before. Download the DraftKings Daily Fantasy app and play free for millions in prizes.
Jersey Mike's is celebrating their 2000th store opening, with over 2,000 local charities served.
You've made a huge difference for Cancer for College. You've helped over 500 kids get to college.
Together, we can make a difference.
What's in a roar? Would a bellow by any other name sound as sweet? Cheering? That's just noise. Yelling? Forced. Chanting? Enchanting. Social, but unoriginal. But Aurora rips forward from the heart of thousands, echoing generations of belief. A thunderous eruption of moments turned to memories. The elation, the celebration, the rare moment in time that can only be.
Here they come. Blitz is picked up. Jones is open. Jackpot, baby!
Aurora.
Panther fans are ready to roar as division rival New Orleans comes to town. Thanks to will.i.am for that inspiration. And don't miss the two-night premiere of Alter Ego, his new Avatar singing competition, this Wednesday and Thursday, right after The Masked Singer on Fox. Those fans in Charlotte witnessed the rekindling of Sam Darnold and Robbie Anderson's relationship. And as the former Jets took to the air for a win over New York, Chris Myers sat down with the pair this week. Myers, they make quite the couple.
Yeah, and Carolina Panther fans are hoping for a hot Carolina combo. They're a great deep combination. And when Sam came here trying to settle in, he was happy to see a familiar face. And even though they were a year apart, more than a quarter of Sam Darnold's touchdown passes in his career have gone to Robbie Anderson. So right away, he was happy to see as they were reunited in Carolina. So you guys are reunited. Do you remember that song, Reunited with Peaches and Herb, from this? You know, you do.
Just reunited and it feels, that's it.
Yeah, it was the late 70s. Are you surprised he didn't know that?
You know, he's a young buck.
But there also is a sample version done by Wu-Tang Clan.
Reunited, double LP, we're all excited.
I'm a fan of Baby Keem myself. But all right, so teammates with the Jets a year apart, reunited in Carolina, first game back, touchdown connection. Panthers win. Has to feel pretty good?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Obviously, we can connect, score a touchdown, and then get the win. You know, this little cherry on top.
And when you saw the Jets first on the schedule, what was the first reaction?
I was excited, you know, but I knew it probably had to do with the storyline and things like that, but, you know, I was definitely excited.
No, I was excited, too. You know, I knew that would be a game that, you know, a lot of my friends and family would be looking at, and I knew I was going to have a good time out there.
You know, it's all love. You know, that's what my career started at. It's no hard feelings. I understand, you know, the business side of things, and definitely was like, I was telling DJ, I was like, I think doing the jet would be dope.
Play action. Darnold, deep shot for Robbie Anderson. Touchdown! The former Jets teammates combine on the score. We tried the music thing, so this is how well do you know your teammate? What number was Sam picked in the 2018 draft? Robbie, what do you got? And 3 is correct. Where was Robbie drafted in the 2016 draft? Undrafted, yes. Okay, that's cool, which says a lot about how hard you do work, no doubt. Right? Oh, Robbie Anderson gets loose and he makes the catch. So, Robbie, what other sport did Sam play in high school? That is correct. See, I like this, as you guys do know each other well. What animal did Robbie famously confuse for the mascot Sir Purr last season in his first game when he was the first Panther? Yeah, you thought it was a bear.
What's that bear doing?
That's Sir Purr.
You call him that?
Oh, yeah, that's his name.
So you be like, what's up, Sir Purr?
Before we wrap, the best part of Robbie's game is...
I just think a lot of people see him as kind of a speedster. You know, his ability to not only track the football, but to get in and out of routes. I think that's one of his best attributes for sure.
Appreciate that, bro.
How about you can both answer this? We will connect for how many touchdowns this year?
Hopefully a lot.
A lot, yeah.
Double digits?
Hopefully.
I'll say 11 for Robbie's number.
Yeah. Sky's the limit.
Robbie talking about the mascot makes me laugh every single time. Sir Purr, what's that bear doing?
It looked like a bear, though.
It did. Sam Darnold looks good so far, right? It's only been 1 week. Do you see him as the long-term solution in this organization?
Well, I want to give it some time. So far, so good. It was a good week 1. I do like Matt Rule. I do like Joe Brady, offensive coordinator. But for Sam Darnold, we'll find out at the end of the season if he's the guy. Got 2,000-yard receivers and got Christian McCaffrey. Leaves him no excuses.
All right, so on the flip side, New Orleans coming off that big win. Charles, we know Jameis Winston looked impressive. But what about this Saints defense? Got to give them some credit.
Yeah, I just give credit for them because they went through a lot of turmoil this offseason as well. Hurricanes, they can't go back home till after week 3, but they didn't let that affect them in this game. You got a 99 Madden Club member on the offense. You got the reigning MVP. Didn't matter. They stuffed that Packers offense and held them to career lows for Aaron Rodgers. So Saints defense looking good.
Absolutely. Similar with Jameis Winston, as you just talked about with Sam Darnold. You know, this game could be a semi-defining game for him moving forward. I mean, you know, everybody last week at the Saints told me, oh, he's bought in. He understands the importance of consistency, of protecting the football. And he did that. But he's thrown 5 touchdowns before at Tampa Bay and then couldn't follow it up the next week. So I think today is going to mean a lot to this team moving forward.
Yeah, I was talking to Schreggs about this, and he thinks that Carolina is going to win this game. I still take the Saints. But it's worth noting 4 defensive starters are out for New Orleans, including Marshawn Lattimore. So
just got paid.
That could be tough, but Jameis Winston is going to find ways to score points. So they'll be able to put points on the board. Defense will just have to
no excuses.
They know how to work through these types of things.
A good game to watch.
A good game to watch was on Sunday night, and Matt Stafford put on a show. We know how well he did in that game, posted the best passer rating of his career, which is saying a lot. Did you picture it going that well for him, Charles?
Well, I pictured it going well. I just didn't picture Matthew Stafford being under center as much. You know, I played Matthew Stafford for a number of years, and he spent a lot of time in the shotgun. If you think about last year, 23% of the time he was in shotgun or under center. And this year, already he's basically doubled that at 41%. So that brings in that play-action passing game into the fold when you can do that. And nobody, almost nobody, can throw the ball downfield better than Matthew Stafford.
Yeah, you know, watching that Bears-Rams game last week, this should be a pretty simple game plan, in my mind, at least for the Colts. I mean, you better make Jonathan Taylor, your running back, the center of this game plan. Because the Bears now, they fell behind, but David Montgomery, I think they find a weakness in that Rams defense. I mean, he averaged 7 yards a carry. And they couldn't run it at the end because they were behind. So I would go, hey, if I'm a coach, I'm going with Jonathan Taylor big today.
Players play, coaches coach, and we'll see what happens with Matthew Stafford. Right now, it seems like it's a good mesh, so I can't wait to just chronicle this situation throughout the season, all the way to the top of the NFC at the end.
Yeah, Seahawks able to shut down Jonathan Taylor last week. Looking for it to bounce back this week. Ahead next hour, Howie Long sits down with the one-man wrecking crew that is Arizona's Chandler Jones. Plus, more of my interview with Joe Burrow. And Super 6 picks are next.
It's a good day to start something new. To brush away gray in 5 easy minutes. To put yourself out there and always put your best face forward. Just for men, mustache, and beard.
One crispy Kentucky Fried Chicken sandwich for you. And a delicious crispy spicy one for whoever needs a little kick in the keister. Get the Kentucky Fried Chicken sandwich in classic or spicy for just $3.99. It's finger-licking good.
The world's first avatar singing competition, Alter Ego, Wednesday on Fox.
Huh. This looks really nice. Doesn't look like a used car to me. It's Toyota certified, so it's all checked out. Like this style. And it comes with great warranties. Plus, with the deal they've got going, it's too good to pass up. What do they say? The best new cars make the best used cars? Oh yeah, I'm taking this one home.
We make it easy. Toyota, let's go places.
The Sleep Number 360 smart bed is on sale now. It helps keep you effortlessly comfortable by sensing your movements and automatically responding to both of you. And it's temperature balancing to help you stay comfortable all night. It even tracks your circadian rhythm so you know when you're at your best. In other words, it's the most energy-building, wellness-boosting, Rams-powering, proven quality night sleep we've ever made. Don't miss our weekend special. Save up to $900 on Sleep Number 360 smart beds, plus free premium delivery when you add a base. Ends Monday. To learn more, go to sleepnumber.com.
Sure, BMW is the ultimate driving machine, but it's also the ultimate certified machine, where a 360-degree inspection doesn't just get you where you're going, it gets you where you're meant to be. And checking for details doesn't just mean looking at tire treads, it means looking out for every mile you have to go. Because we don't just certify for the road ahead, we certify for every moment along the way. Come in to see our entire lineup of vehicles at the BMW Certified Sales Event.
It may feel like summer's winding down, but we could still get that summer heat. My futurecast for your neighborhood, Monday, all morning on Good Day LA.
Well,
Both the Eagles and the Niners thrilled their fans in Week 1, and as they meet today, San Fran is a 3-point favorite. George Kittle, this guy, hoping to say something about that. Meanwhile, you guys, lines are tough. Underdogs were 12-4 against the spread last week. Schrags, does it feel good to be a winner? Yeah.
I feel good in your company, Chris.
It does. Guys?
I'm getting off to a bad
start. We'll run you down. We'll run you down.
You know, I get it. It's only Week 1. This is Fox Bet Super 6. It's so easy, you guys. Download the app, pick the outcome of 6 games for today's chance at $1 million of Terry Bradshaw's money. As for our weekly contest, I am going to take the Saints by 6. Mike, who you got?
Can't believe I'm doing this or saying this, but I'm taking the Dolphins over the Bills by 1.
Okay.
Well, Fletcher Cox and Brandon Graham, they held the Falcons out of the end zone last week. I think they do a great job against the Niners today. I'm taking the Eagles. Close one, but by 3.
I'm going to call me a homer if you want, but I think the Bears defense comes up huge. The Bears. I mean, Minnesota sacked Joe Burrow 5 times last week. The Bears, keep an eye. I got the Bears by 10. By 10, Coach.
Dang.
10. The Rams travel to Indianapolis, and they have a usual hotel they like staying at. It was all sold out because there is a convention in Indianapolis called the Gen Con. You know what the Gen Con is?
Nope.
The National Board Game Convention. Every hotel room is out. Guess what? The Rams will still take care of business. No hotel can stop
That's a real thing?
Rams by 4. Gen Con, I see you.
Colonel Mustard in the conservatory with the wrench?
The league has.
Why am I yelling?
Was that a tongue twister?
I mean, how now, brown cow? America likes the Chiefs by 12. Get those picks in. And fans, fans have already won nearly $5 million. So we're not making this stuff up, you guys. Thanks for watching. The guys next door are ready to take you up to game time. Charles, we'll see you over there. Ford Fox NFL Sunday starts right now.
Give me one, Mike. Give me one, Mike.
Live from Los Angeles, it's week 2 of Fox NFL Sunday.
Come fly with me, let's fly away. If you can use some exotic booze, there's a bar in far Bombay.
Today, Terry Bradshaw.
Fly with me, let's fly away.
Joe Burrow.
Come fly with me.
Jay Glazer.
Telling me you guys turned down 3 first-rounders? In Llama Land, there's a one-man band, and he'll...
Carissa Thompson.
Come on, fly with me. Let's take off in the blue.
Michael Strahan.
It's game day, baby. Let's go. Get you up there where the air is rarefied.
Charles Woodson.
We'll just fly.
4, 3,
2, 1. Get you up there.
Roll right change the wall.
I'll be holding you so near.
Chandler Jones.
You may hear.
Quiet on the set, please.
Jimmy Johnson.
Because we're together.
Howie Long.
Weatherwise, it's such a lovely day.
We're on in 15.
And now, your host, Kurt Menefee.
Let's go back inside, folks. Fox NFL Sunday starts right now.
Come fly with me. Let's fly, let's fly.
How cool was that, huh? This feels special today. Off to a flying start, if you will, for Hollywood's football team is the Rams quarterback Matthew Stafford. LA's leading man takes his show on the road today after a spectacular Rams debut, which earned him the NFC's Offensive Player of the Week award. An honor you could argue Jameis Winston deserved. 5 touchdown passes and the most lopsided win of any quarterback in the league in his first game as the new man in New Orleans. How does he follow that up in a division game on the road at Carolina? Okay, the only team to get a win in Week 1 in the AFC East was led by this Year 2 quarterback, Tua Tagovailoa, which sets up a key early season big game hosting last year's division champs, the Buffalo Bills, in less than an hour. Also today on Fox, a couple of 1-0 squads. Jalen Hurts and the Eagles will host the San Francisco 49ers. And then later, it's the electrifying Kyler Murray and the Cards versus the Vikings, while 7-time Super Bowl champ Tom Brady faces off against the Falcons. Many marvelous matchups for you today all across the country as the Fox NFL Sunday pregame show gets powered up by Ford and their lineup of electric vehicles, including the all-new, all-electric Ford F-150 Lightning. It's the only EV that's an F-150. Come on in here and stay a while, folks. I'm Kurt Menefee. Thanks for letting us be a part of your football Sunday. Of course, you know these guys, Terry, Howie, and Michael. Jimmy Johnson will join us in just a bit, fellas. We did that all live. That was so smooth with that drone. That was a great shot there.
One take.
It was beautiful. Great job by the drone operators and all the people.
I thought Jimmy loved us so much. Y'all got the text. He loved us so much. He
staying home.
Staying home.
But he will be with us in just a minute, so stay right where you are. In fact, before we get to Jimmy, we need to check out the buzz on social media with our hashtags. And why don't we start it off with the 44-year-old GOAT?
Can Tom Brady play until 50 years old?
I think I can. I think it's a yes. I can play and then just glide into retirement.
50. Can you imagine that? Wow. Brady and the defending champion Bucks look to go 2-0 later on Fox. Hey, right now, Giant fans are probably aging quickly following Big Blue. Within a 4-day span, New York suffered a blowout loss to the Broncos, and then to make it worse, on Thursday, they did everything they could to lose to Washington and succeeded. They've now started 0-2 for the 5th straight season. Washington's social media department also trolled New York and Daniel Jones, declaring Taylor Heineke the new Taylor Dimes. What a mess for this legendary franchise. Hey, one of the legends of late-night TV is now here on Fox. Jay Leno hosts a revival of the old game show You Bet Your Life. And guess who's one of the first celebrity topics he had on the show?
Who is this legendary Pittsburgh Steeler, now a sportscaster on Fox? This goofball is a friend of mine.
I believe that's John Madden.
No, Terry Bradshaw. I can't wait to tell Bradshaw. Nobody knew who he was.
Not everybody's a sports fan. That's okay. We all know you and we all love you, TB.
Oh, shut up, Kurt.
Hey, I got your back. Don't get mad at me. Let's talk about the football games today. Why don't we start with the beat-up Dallas Cowboys taking on the Chargers here as we look at the NFC East.
Hey, listen, after the first week's loss to Tampa Bay, the first thing that came to my mind is you can't do this to your football team again, Mike McCarthy. You have got to not throw the ball 40, 45 times a game. You're going to get Prescott killed. You got to lean on Ezekiel Elliott. You've got to run the football. You keep this up, chances are you're going to lose your quarterback again. You've got to learn how to run the football. And if you'll run the football, all you're going to do is just take time off the clock, rest your defense, who, by God, from what I've seen, they need some rest.
Yeah, and the team up in Philadelphia looks kind of like the competition for the Cowboys. The Cowboys looked like they were going to run away with it.
Didn't watch Washington?
Yeah, well, I wasn't blown away by Washington. I was very impressed by Philadelphia in week 1. And we talked about it last week when they made their runs in the playoffs. They won a Super Bowl. It was the offensive line and the defensive line. I think both will get tested significantly this week versus the Niners. Mailata's going to have its hands full at left tackle. And then the weapons. You talk about Jalen Hurts. You talk about Sanders, Rager, Smith, both first-round picks, Goddard. I think Jalen Hurts is the story. He played with poise after an offseason of rumors, played with poise, pulled it down, ran for 62. Word is the Niners have worked against that kind of an offense all during training camp, and Trey Lance took 80% of the look team reps on offense trying to simulate Jalen Hurts.
Ooh, you got anything else you want to throw?
No.
Okay, just
got it all out.
Woo. Take a deep breath. Well, I'm supposed to talk about the Giants. That could either be quick or it could be a long time. How much time we got? Real quick. You know, no team has lost more games than 2017. 0-2, 5 straight seasons. We know all these things. This is like Groundhog Day. Giants say, this is our problems in the offseason. Then the season showed up. They haven't fixed any of those problems. I think it's frustrating. It usually puts so much on the quarterback, Daniel Jones. Daniel Jones has been playing really well, protecting the ball as of late. And the Giants got hot last season. They need to find that confidence because when you watch this team, it looks like a team that has players here and there, but they don't make the big plays when they need to make the big plays. And the little mistakes, especially on special teams, when your coach was a special teams coach, is frustrating for fans as well. So, you know, the Giants just got to get it together one way, shape, or another, Kurt, and figure out a way to win some games and not find a way to lose.
To Mike, will you? That's the psychiatrist I see.
Dr.
Maybe he'll help you.
He's trying to help you with your Giants.
But he wrote it like a
doctor.
It's a 5-year-old. I mean, Jesus, what is that?
Hey,
Let's go to Florida, and for the first time today,
Jimmy.
say hello to Jimmy Johnson there.
Jimmy.
Hey, Jimmy, I don't know if numbers matter. Tom Brady and the Bucs take on the Falcons today. He has never lost to Atlanta, 8-0. Is there anything this man can't do?
You know, Kurt, people might debate whether or not, he's one of the greatest players of all time. They can't debate, how great a leader he is. He gives, all of those players such confidence. He holds all of them accountable. I think every player, every fan knew last Thursday night when he got the football back, he was going to take them down for the win. On top of that, he's a Pied Piper. They didn't lose any of their starters the offseason. They wanted to play with Tom, and then Tom signs a contract with him. Gronk says, I want to play with Tom. Antonio Brown, I want to play with Tom. Fournette, I want to play with Tom. And Terry, I'll be there next week because I want to play with you.
Oh, I like it. Okay. You may want to button that shirt one more button before you do come back out here.
He's doing some advertising.
All right, we'll get back to Jimmy in just a bit right now. We say hello to Jay Glazer. And Jay, first of all, congratulations are in order to you.
Thank you, buddy.
This morning on Chris Wallace's show, you were named the Power Player of the Week, not only for your great work as an insider, but for all you do for the veterans and in the community all across the country. Way to go, buddy.
Brother, thank you. And Fox gives me a great platform to help a lot of people, man.
We appreciate you doing that good work, and I'm sure they all do as well. All right, let's get to football here. What about the Saints? I mean, they've already had to deal with so many challenges this season already. How are they dealing with losing 8 coaches this week to COVID?
Look, Sean Payton says, look, we've got to multitask. So a guy like Sean, he's the head coach today. He's also coaching receivers. He's coaching running backs. He said, look, and then we got to think out of the box. He actually took his assistant, like the guy who does their travel, and he made him a coach today, put him up in the booth, took an ex-player named Jermon Bushrod, who's in personnel. He's helping out the coaching staff as well today. They're just going to have to multitask and do a lot of things. And by the way, talking about multitask, Sean Payton, like he doesn't have enough on his plate, he sends me this week. He says, look, we're like the Ted Lasso for the NFL. That's our coaching staff. So not only is he multitasking, he's now a social media influencer and apparently the head of their social marketing team.
I'm afraid to ask who the Roy Kent is on that crew there. All right, let's move to the Eagles and Jalen Hurts. They were hesitant to name him the starter, even through training camp. Is it his team right now, though?
Well, Howie talked about him this morning. And then talked about him this morning. And then talked about him this morning. But
I missed my exit.
Here's the thing. And yeah, look, there was a lot surrounding whether or not the team was going to go after Deshaun Watson. And they were one of those teams who were interested. However, right now, this team has fully put themselves behind Jalen Hurts. The locker room loves him. And the players and coaches I talked to say he does a lot of things that the guy last year wasn't really willing to do. And Carson Wentz, as in he goes and he has dinners with the backups, with his starters. Every different position, Jalen Hurts has the support of that locker room. He's their guy.
All right, thanks a lot, Jay. We'll hear more from him later because there's much more to come here on Fox NFL Sunday.
Coming up, new Hall of Famer Charles Woodson shows us how hard defending a quarterback with options can be. Then it's Black and Gold versus Silver and Black, Steel City versus Sin City, Terry versus Howie. We preview an old rivalry, still going strong today. Later, Carissa Thompson sits down with the Cincy kid Joe Burrow after a wild Week 1 win. And after a 5-sack game last week, Chandler Jones catches up with Howie Long. Next on Fox NFL Sunday.
Our house seemed like a dream come true. Great character, great neighborhood.
Until Mrs. Cashman started feeding the neighborhood cats.
All the cats. We need to move right now.
With Rocket Mortgage, we can adjust our home loan options in real time.
Customize our monthly payment, down payment, and closing costs.
Please.
And no cats.
It was a catastrophe.
Just no.
When you need control over your home loan, Rocket can.
This Saturday, while you watch the game, we're watching the grill. Order through the Jersey Mike's app for free Saturday delivery, unless you're going to miss seeing this. Introducing free Saturday delivery. Jersey Mike's, a sub above.
And this touchdown is under review.
So, how's it look? I'm going to go with the front and rear floor liners. Yeah? I also went with the cargo liner. It fits perfectly. Huh.
Wow, this is taking a long time, folks.
Hey, you see they got a bigger bump step? Nice. So, how about the play? Oh, he had both feet in bounds. Call stands.
The ruling on the field stands. Touchdown.
Order yours today at WeatherTech.com. The ultimate protection for your vehicle.
Hey, don't forget the cup phone.
Smooth like butter, like a criminal
Looking into your heart like that. Do the boogie. A side step running left to me. I like the moon rock with me, baby. Know that I got that heat. Let me show you 'cause girl can see it. Side step run. Get it, let it roll.
Jersey Mike's is celebrating their 2000th store opening with over 2,000 local charities served.
You made a difference for Boys Town, North Florida by offering its children and families hope and healing.
Together, we can make a difference.
An F-150 isn't an F-150 because of the name on the tailgate. It's an F-150 because it's built Ford tough, built to haul more, built to tow more, for the people who count on it. Because they know that brawn can get the job done, but it takes brains and brawn to get it done right. Tough this smart can only be called F-150.
The Fox NFL Sunday pregame show is sponsored by the all-new 2021 Ford F-150. Tough this smart can only be called F-150. This week's Lightning Strikes player is brought to you by the all-electric Ford F-150 Lightning. Kyler Murray did it all, electrifying the Cardinals to the win with 5 total touchdowns, proving again that lightning strikes.
He's a dual threat type of guy. An RPO style, winning the game with his feet and his arm.
Well, we saw it last week. Trey Lance came in and did it. Justin Fields came in and did it. It's called the RPO, or the run-pass option, and it's taken the NFL by storm. So to break it down and talk about how to stop it, we bring in a couple of special guests. You see him each week on Fox NFL Kickoff, the great Michael Vick. And over there, the man in black, the new Hall of Famer, Charles Woodson.
Yes.
Fox.
Right.
Well, first of all, this has been a busy week for you because I saw you Monday night celebrating that Raider victory.
Just hanging out with the owner, you know.
Yeah, just looking around and counting that money, hold that wine.
No, Howie, I just want people to have a good time, man. It ain't about the money.
You certainly had a good time there. I tell you what, a lot of these offenses around the league are really enjoying themselves. This was an offense that probably would have been built for Michael Vick. I want you to take us through some of the young guys we see running the RPO and how you try and stop it.
Yeah, well, you know, this is a quarterback-driven league. We've heard that 1,000 times. But now these offensive coordinators are trying to get these young, talented quarterbacks in space, get them matched up against linebackers, safeties, defensive ends. If you watch this game here, watch Justin Fields here. He runs that zone read fake, but it really just actually turns into a sweep. The end plays it well if it's a zone read option, but that play with the sweep, he needs to drive that blocker back so he can declare the run fit for the defensive back. So it was a little bit different, that play was, but they all kind of play the same. Get that quarterback in the position to make a play. Here you have Jalen Hurts, man-to-man. You got the defensive backs back to him, so they're not going to see him. That defensive end cannot lock his hips. Once he locks his hip, Jalen Hurts knows to pull that ball out, run it up the back of the defensive back. That's the first down.
Yeah, you just can't crash down.
Just can't crash down here. So my indication is Strahan is my running back. He's a step behind Michael Vick. That's telling me that I might get that zone read option, right? So as the defensive end, I know once Michael Vick runs this fake, as the defensive end, I can't lock my hips and crash down on this running back. I must keep my outside hand free. And once Michael Vick pulls this ball, I slide, and now I can redirect and get to Michael Vick this way. And so the safety was way back deep, but I want him to play a little bit closer so that he has a chance to get in on the play.
And if you're a hybrid backer, let's say, and that run game's working, all of a sudden the defensive line is froze up on the run protection, and then the backer gets sucked up, and there's a void behind the backer, and that's when Mike takes advantage of it.
But you can tell what pretty much this play is coming from the formation when they come out of the huddle.
Exactly.
The Ford defensive end is all about your hips. If you lock, he's gone outside. If you shuffle, you can make that play. But I think even if I shuffle, he'd probably get around it.
I got your back.
When you were lining this up, you said Strahan's a step behind Michael Vick. I'm going no more than a step.
My man here, Kurt, he's too big. He could never run that. A big guy can't run that offense.
Well, back in '93.
Well, you could do a little bit of everything.
Yes.
Or I could.
Yeah.
You know, but not everybody's me.
Yeah.
Speaking of doing everything, these guys have done everything we need them to do right here on the field. We thank you, Michael Vick and Charles Woodson. We appreciate you guys, man. The great Charles Woodson. The great Raider legend Howie Long has a big show for us today. First, he goes mano-a-mano against Terry to debate today's Raiders-Steelers showdown. And then he sits down with the reigning NFC Defensive Player of the Week, Arizona's Chandler Jones. Meanwhile, Carissa Thompson chats with Joe Burrow.
So how much stronger do you feel that you are now in spite of the injury?
All my lifting numbers are the same.
What are we benching, bro?
And Doug.
Got a couple of bogeys on your 6 limo. They need customized car insurance from Liberty Mutual, so they only pay for what they need. What do you say we see what this bird can do?
We are not getting you a helicopter.
Looks like we're walking, kid. Only pay for what you need.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
If you watch football on TV, you need Fubo TV. Get complete NFL coverage, the most college football you can get without cable, plus games in 4K included at no extra charge. Try free at FuboTV.com.
Don't miss the Masked Singer 2-night premiere event. It all begins Wednesday on Fox.
Just outside of a town called Basic is Basic Lake, where families gather together for some basic fun. And if you have the 2021 Nissan Rogue with 5 drive modes, you can climb above Basic and find a trail where no one else goes. The 2021 Nissan Rogue. Anything but basic.
Get a low $219 per month lease on Rogue, or get 0% financing for up to 72 months on 13 models.
You ready?
Yep.
Hi.
Hello, welcome to AT&T.
Oh, thank you. Now, is the wireless price that's advertised, is that the actual price?
It is.
Good.
Except we also add taxes and fees.
No.
Sorry, surcharges and extras.
No. You don't mention the taxes or the fees.
Gotcha.
Okay. Let's just try it one more time. Hello. I would like to sign
Hi, here for the taxes and fees?
AT&T is selling it. I did it again. Don't buy it. For no surprise fees or hidden charges, choose Spectrum Mobile.
Celebrating 35 years of performance with our most thrilling lineup. Don't miss limited time offers at the Acura Summer of Performance event going on now.
Visit your local Acura dealer for attractive offers on the TLX.
Morning. It's 6 a.m. here on 109.3.
Thanks.
And we're going to keep the music going with another
Good night.
Night.
At 2 for $3.50, mix and match a sweet chicken McGriddles and a buttery McChicken biscuit.
There's more to the ultimate driving machine than you might think. Multiple forces converging to create something uncontainable. Introducing the ultimate first-of-its-kind machine. The ultimate hair-raising machine. And the ultimate peace of mind machine. BMW, the ultimate driving machine. Hurry in to lease a 2021 BMW 330i sedan for $429 per month.
Shoppers beware why it could become difficult to find some everyday items. Monday on Good Day LA.
Hey, Kurt!
I'm sorry, who are you?
It's me, Terry. The folks at Alter Ego on Fox hooked me up with my very own avatar. Now I have this cool hair.
I'm guessing you're backstage in one of those fancy motion capture suits?
You know it, big guy. This is my second chance. I'm a whole new Terry. Check this out, Kurt. I'm so happy. I could sing. I'm singing.
I'll just wait for the real thing.
What? Hey, Kurt! You're just jealous of the hair. My wife's gonna love this.
Oh, my alter
God.
ego.
That was great.
That's the best look they could get. That's your alter ego?
I have no comment. I have no comment. Why is it always me that looks
you
ridiculous?
have no comment says a lot.
It begins premiering this Wednesday and Thursday right here on Fox. All right, let's get to the real Terry Bradshaw. Let's leave the man alone for just a little bit here, all right? He threw arguably the most famous pass in NFL history, the Immaculate Reception. It was in a playoff game that allowed the Steelers to beat the Raiders, who were coached by the great John Madden. A memory the old coach says that even video game royalties can't erase.
Last chance for the Steelers. Bradshaw trying to...
When a guy crosses a goal line, it's either a touchdown or it's not.
Bradshaw trying to get away. And his pass is broken up by Tatum. Tipped off. Rachel Harris has it.
They didn't call a touchdown. They didn't know if it was a touchdown.
I said, I know you don't know. I'll tell you. You know, it was a double touch.
So now the referee is on the phone, and he makes a call to someone.
And then he comes back out of the dugout, and he signals touchdown.
Let's get the one-odds on this one.
Not that I carry old grudges.
Bothered me then, bothers me today, and will bother me until the day I...
Talk about Christmas miracles. Here's the miracle of all miracles.
The word great's overused. That's a great documentary. It premieres on Fox Christmas Today. Oh, man. Great. Hey, the reason we have these jerseys here, with the Raiders and Steelers playing, Terry Bradshaw and Howie Long are going to go at it mano a mano to talk a little bit about their teams and maybe answer a few questions Michael and I have for them.
You get
yeah. Here, you get this one.
I can get in this.
Why don't we just start with
you just worry about getting in your jersey.
Don't you worry about
take up this
All right, let's separate you guys here. You can just throw it here on the floor. First question.
I'm going to wave
both your teams had big comeback wins last week. Double digits down, came back to win. Which one was more impressive and why?
Easy. Opening up a new stadium to fans in Vegas. They come from behind versus a league MVP, a team that's supposed to go to the Super Bowl. Raiders win on the final play of the game.
Pittsburgh goes into Buffalo. Buffalo heavily favored to go to the Super Bowl. Pittsburgh, a team people very seldom talk about now because
Stop it.
Yeah, okay, they go up there and they upset the Buffalo Bills.
All right,
upset them.
Question number 2. Which quarterback do you trust to make a play this season and why?
It's this season, not career.
This season.
Okay.
Ben, easily.
Carr, zero blitz, under pressure. It's one-man route. Makes the play, drop the mic, big win.
Oh, that's really clever. I know you wrote it and you studied it and you got it down. But Ben Roethlisberger's won Super Bowls.
Isn't that the idea?
Don't threaten. I'm not afraid of you, buddy.
Over here.
Don't let me get up.
I'll be honest with you. I'm not even going to break it up. I'm going to watch.
Ben has done it time and time and time again. Not even a question. Who
has done it.
Has. And
has been. Yeah. That's what you call them. Better chance at a playoff run.
Ooh. If our offense.
Pittsburgh!
Is our offense.
No.
It's like you walking up on me?
But don't come over here.
I tell you.
Hey, I ain't no easy way, boy.
Old man fight.
I'd say you go walk over here and limp back, but you limped over here.
Stop the fight! Stop the fight!
Funny.
It's over.
That's funny.
It is over. Right there. No need to continue. It's unbelievable.
Nobody wrote that for you, folks. He did that on his own. I'm so proud of you.
All right, one more question. You both have legendary fan bases. Which one is the best and why?
Oh, that's easy. They're local. Fans went from Oakland to Los Angeles, back to Oakland, now to Vegas. We're the Southwest Raiders. We're a national.
It's amazing how people love losers, and that's what the Raiders have been for a long time.
Oh, my God.
Steelers travel better than anybody. I will say this. There's no harsher fans than yours.
Yeah, that's
yours are ruthless.
You thought they changed your name when you went to Oakland.
I don't think we're going to top what he said earlier, so why don't we finish there? I think we'll declare you the winner right now. We want to get it back over to Jay. That's a heck of a one-liner he had. Jay Glazer.
Hey, Kurt, you guys, get some peace over there, Kurt.
Fans are fighting in Chicago about who the starting quarterback should be. When will Justin Fields, if at all, take over as a starter?
Well, look, fans are clamoring, obviously, for Justin Fields. The original plan from the Bears was to not have Justin Fields come in until probably their bye week, after their bye week, which is a couple months into the season. But I don't think they're going to be able to slow this train down at all. Look, I want you to understand one difference, though, here in this situation, as opposed to when Matt Nagy was in Kansas City and they said, well, Alex Smith was there to really help out Patrick Mahomes, and that's what Matt Nagy does. But that's not the situation here for Andy Dalton. When Andy Dalton got to Chicago, he was told point blank, you're here to be the starter. He has, however, taken Justin Fields under his wing, but it's not the same situation as Kansas City. But what I'm told by players and coaches in that locker room is every week, Justin Fields does something that makes him go, wow, we got to kind of speed this process up. So do I see it happening after the bye? No, I think it's going to speed up an awful lot. I think you could see Justin Fields in the starting lineup within the next few weeks.
All right, we'll keep an eye for that. But up next here on the show, Carissa joins us for her interview with the guy seen as the savior in Cincinnati, quarterback Joe Burrow. Today he goes up against the QB he replaced, who's now Chicago starter Andy Dalton. Meanwhile, we'll preview Josh Allen and the Bills against their division rivals, the Dolphins. And the top running back in scrimmage yards this season, Christian McCaffrey and the Panthers will be hosting the Saints. We'll talk about that. Just hang around.
Fox NFL Sunday is brought to you by Verizon. 5G built right from the network more people rely on. Verizon.
Better shouldn't have to cost more.
Which is why at Verizon, plans start at just $35. And if you're not a customer, we'll help cover the cost to switch. Just ask Wanda. She's been with us since now.
Everyone gets $500 when they join.
Because everyone deserves better.
If it looks like an F-150, tows like an F-150, hauls like an F-150, thinks like an F-150, and powers like an F-150, it must be an F-150 hybrid. The 2021 F-150 Power Boost Hybrid with 570 pound-feet of torque and 12,700 pounds of max available towing.
I need to try it first.
Yes, so what I'm saying is people like options. When you take Geico, you can call them anytime you feel like saving money. It don't matter, day or night. Use your computer, your smartphone, your tablet, whatever. The point is, you have options. Oh, how convenient. Oi, crab cakes. What are you looking at?
Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
You probably think Visa is a credit card company, huh? But it's actually a network. Connecting just about everyone to just about everyone else. It can open eyes with a cup of coffee and change minds about what makes a business a business. And it is working to connect everyone, everywhere. So, meet Visa, a network working for everyone.
Thursday Night Football is only on NFL Network.
It's gonna be a dogfight.
We're here for a primetime showdown in the Lone Star State.
Yeah, that's big time there.
Christian McCaffrey is ready to lead the Panthers to the next level.
Surgical precision.
But the Texans are looking to show out in front of the H-Town faithful.
Bang, touchdown.
Panthers, Texans. Week 3 starts here.
This guy can run. We're about to level up.
Thursday Night Football. Thursday at 8, only on NFL Network.
Los Angeles has joined the grim fraternity of cities held hostage by sophisticated hackers.
The city has been plunged into utter darkness.
So we're on our own.
I've lost the hotel room.
Hold on. This thing is holding up my thread, Cap.
911 season premiere tomorrow on Fox.
As we welcome you back to Fox NFL Sunday, today's Sleep Number Screen Pass is all about the Bengals. The last time they won a playoff game, Joe Burrow wasn't even born. Goodfellas was in movie theaters, and Vanilla Ice, of all people, was topping the charts. The year was 1990. Of course, the last time we saw Vanilla Ice, he was doing one of those home remodeling shows, much like Burrow, Carissa Thompson, who's trying to help rebuild the Bengals these days.
I mean, ice, ice, baby. Thank you, Kurt. Yeah, up until week 11 of last season, Joe Burrow was well on his way to staking claim as the best rookie QB of 2020. He was living up to the dreams of the tortured Bengals faithful. But then a nightmare, as the first-round pick was carted off the field with a brutal knee injury. Now, just 9 months since reconstructive surgery, Joe Cool is back under center and bringing hope to Cincinnati.
Joe, who's your karaoke song?
I don't think I've ever done karaoke before.
This guy.
Yeah.
Do you like interviews?
Not really.
No.
Not my favorite.
What don't you like about him?
I'm just not a camera guy. Gotta make sure the hair is right. Gotta do all that stuff.
There's not a hair out of place. It looks great, I'm telling you.
Biggest nightmare for Bengals fans was an injury to rookie quarterback Joe Burrow, and he was...
Let's go back, if we can, to that moment on the field when you got hurt. Take me through that.
My knee hurt. That's really all I could think about at the time, you know, on the field. I mean, there was quite a bit of damage. It kind of hit me when I got to the x-ray room that my season was going to be done. And so it got a little emotional, but then, you know, after the game, tried to focus on the plays that I did play and where I could get better in that area.
You were thinking about that. In the moment that you recognized your rookie season in the NFL is over, you're already thinking about the plays that you could have done better?
Yeah, I mean, you don't want to sit and dwell on all the games you're going to miss. So you just try to focus on the reps that you had, try to get better somehow.
You're a much better person than I am, man. I stub my toe and I think about that for the rest of the day, let alone what I did well during the day. So the Bengals lost you, but you lost football. How good does it feel to have it back?
Feels great. You know, a lot of work went into this. That was my first major injury of my entire sporting career. It's just a matter of how you respond to it.
And here comes Joe Burrow.
Done. Burrow drops straight back to throw again. He's going to fire it long for Jamar Chase.
Yeah.
Over the shoulder catch at the 15.
How much fun is this game for you?
It's a lot of fun, especially when we play the way we did on Sunday.
Yeah.
Losing isn't very fun.
Losing isn't something that you're used to. When they brought you in, you're going to be the savior of this. You're going to save this organization. Is that pressure that you like?
And I think pressure is more of an outside word that people use. If you don't let the environment and if you don't let the situation get to you, there's no pressure. It's just a matter of how you prepare and how you perform.
I love it. You've seen Top Gun.
I don't think I have seen Top Gun.
Joe, you stop it right now. You've never seen Top Gun?
No.
Tom Cruise, Maverick?
No.
Val Kilmer? I was going to say you're Iceman. Nothing affects you. There's ice in your veins.
Never seen
Okay, you have homework. You need to come up with a karaoke song, and you have to watch Top Gun.
You got a deal.
That's when you know you're old, when your interview subject has never seen Top Gun. But guess what? He hasn't lost that love and feeling in Cincinnati. I had to.
I like
it
that.
was too easy.
Hey, that's unbelievable that he hasn't seen Top Gun.
But what a guy, though, Mike. What do you love about him?
I love everything about him. He's accurate, he's competitive, and he is what that team needs because they needed a quarterback like that who can step in and try to turn this franchise around. And, you know, but they have Chicago. You know, the question in Chicago, Andy Dalton or Justin Fields. And you saw last week, Andy Dalton had, he only completed pass over 10 yards. Justin Fields goes in, only plays 5 plays, but 2 for 2, only for 10 yards, but then a rushing touchdown. He just adds a different dynamic between Fields and David Montgomery rushed for 108 yards last week. Those were the 2 most exciting things to have for the Bears. Other than that, defense did not play well, gave up 34 points, 0 turnovers, 8 yards per play. And that's not what you're used to when you know you have a Khalil Mack and some of the other players that they have there. They're facing an accurate passer in Joe Burrow. They're going to have their hands full. You cannot have some of the busted coverages, and you're going to have to put pressure on the quarterback.
You missed your exit too, huh?
No.
That's coming up at the top of the hour. Another game we've got, Jimmy Johnson. In the NFC South, the Saints at the Carolina Panthers.
Yeah, Kurt, you know, every offseason, you know, I have general managers and coaches come down, visit, you know, they do a little fishing, talking a bunch of football. And this past offseason, Matt Rule came down, brought his son Bryant. By the way, Terry, I kept those little fish for his son Bryant.
Okay.
Yeah, and Matt Rule, I was really, really impressed with him. He's a motivator, a very smart football coach. But a head coach can only do so much. You got to have great assistants. I had Dave and Tony and Butch, and I had a great quarterback coach, Norv Turner. He helped develop Troy Aikman. Well, Matt's got Joe Brady. Joe Brady worked under Sean Payton at New Orleans, and then on top of that, he helped develop Joe Burrow at LSU. Now, I think Brady's going to be able to put Sam Darnold back on track if they can protect him, Howie. That New Orleans pass rush is pretty good.
Yeah, you know, I agree, Jimmy. That defense played really well last week in the opener. It looks like it's going to be a fascinating division. What else could happen in New Orleans? Ida and now the COVID, and Sean Payton has done a remarkable job. The big question was Jameis. You know, what Jameis brings to the table is it's the 5,000 yards. It's the ability to stretch the field. But the new Jameis under Sean Payton, who played under Drew Brees for a year, was doing the check down, taking what was there, protecting the football, understanding that the singles and the doubles lead to the home run as it did at the end of the football game. If he continues to play like this, New Orleans is going to be a team that has to be reckoned with in the NFC South.
Another intriguing game we've got at the top of the hour at TB is Buffalo needing a win after losing to your Steelers last week, taking on Miami.
Well, Pittsburgh got them ready and got them mad. Now they go down. Now Buffalo and Miami. I'm going to tell you, there's just some games, Mike, you know, there's some teams you play against, there's certain players you go, not a problem, I'm going to handle business. I believe that's exactly what's happened. Josh Allen, the quarterback for Buffalo, has lit up this Dolphin defense the 6 games he's played in. He's won 5 of them, thrown 17 touchdown passes. Don't give up on Singletary, your running back. They gave up against Pittsburgh, and you got to do that. Run the ball so you can do play action. It's going to be a hell of a, I said hell? Oh, yeah. I'm sorry, Mom.
You said it
heck
twice.
Of a game. Did I say it twice?
Yeah. I know when he asked you if he said it, then you said it again. A heck of a game. We've got much more coming, including
emotional.
a heck of a conversation between 2 great pass rushers, 2 great defensive linemen, Howie Long and Chandler Jones.
Jake from State Farm. What's good?
Oh, Patrick?
Nah, fam. Just your typical sneakerhead working here for the employee discount. But speaking of deals, I heard regular guys like me are getting the Patrick price. That can't be real, right?
Listen, State Farm offers rates that fit any budget. Even yours, typical sneakerhead.
Wow. Just anyone now?
Yeah.
Man, these just sold out then.
For surprisingly great rates that fit any budget, like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. Call or click to get a quote today.
All new Friday Night SmackDown at 8 Eastern on Fox.
Huh. This looks really nice. Doesn't look like a used car to me. It's Toyota certified, so it's all checked out. Like this style. And it comes with great warranties. Plus, with the deal they've got going, it's too good to pass up. What do they say? The best new cars make the best used cars? Oh, yeah. I'm taking this one home.
We make it easy. Toyota, let's go places.
Kids love visiting California! Oh, but parents like it too. Like a lot. They go bonker! Totally. It's an adventure. Oh, you have to keep an eye on them. You gotta let them explore and figure things out for themselves. So hurry up. We're not gonna stay this way forever.
Kick off your California vacation at visitcalifornia.com.
All of this started when we discovered the benefits of local raw honey for our family.
And then we said, hey, you know what? This is a business right here.
We went out and started to sell it.
To help us get going, we got the Chase Business Complete Banking Account. It's more than a bank account. It comes with Quick Accept, which lets us take card payments anytime, anywhere, and get same-day deposits at no extra cost. It's more than honey. It's about building something for a family that will endure.
Chase for Business. Make more of what's yours.
There are a lot of ways to offer hope. Our way is by donating a portion of every Hyundai sold to Hyundai Hope on Wheels to help find a cure for childhood cancer, so families can come home for good. Hope is our greatest feature, and it comes standard on every Hyundai.
This is arguably the best division in football.
The best quarterback in his division, Russell Wilson of the Seattle Seahawks. We love you, baby!
Matthew Stafford completely changes the ball game.
Steps up, going top shelf. Touchdown, LA!
Kyler Murray, this dude does some things on the field that we haven't seen before.
The Arizona Cardinals pummel the Titans.
The NFC West is terrifying.
All 4 teams in the NFC West won in Week 1. 4-0 as a division, but the most dominant one was probably the Arizona Cardinals. You take a look at their quarterback, Kyler Murray, 5 total touchdowns, and the defensive lineman, Chandler Jones, 5 sacks. In fact, he beat up Tennessee's offensive line so badly that right after the game, the Titans Pro Bowl tackle Taylor Lewan tweeted an acknowledgement of Jones's domination. Now, Lewan didn't give up all those sacks, but they weren't able to stop Jones at all. You had a chance to talk to the young man this week.
Yeah, and it was a great conversation. Terry's willing to pass on his therapist's number to him. Also, what's all the more impressive about it is that Chandler Jones went out in Week 5 last week. He hasn't played football since last October. Word was he was dominant in camp. He changed his diet. He's down 10 pounds. 5 sacks in Game 1. He's on pace for 85. NSC Defensive Player of the Week. Congrats.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Who the hell else were they going to give it to?
I don't know. Whoever got more sacks than me, I guess.
5 sacks on opening day. That's like somebody in the NBA scoring 7. Walk me through what you were thinking as the game's going on.
Well, on my first sack, that was
naked
just
boot.
A naked boot. That was film study. It was all film study. The formation they had given us.
Didn't bite a bit.
Didn't bite a bit. As soon as the line went down for the stretch, I went straight to the quarterback.
Gets hit. Chandler Jones forces a
Steps,
fumble.
hands, eyes, all those things, and then all that was happening, it came to me on the field, and they were working for sure.
It's like you're a praying mantis. The big jump step, and you're all arms and legs.
Chandler Jones is all over the field.
The chips and the double teams, I didn't get as much as I thought I would, so.
I can tell you, partner, this week, look for the peanut vendor, the guy who's showing people to their seats. They're going to hit you with everything.
Of course.
They cannot block 55.
Michael and I have been saying it for years. We just think you're the best player in the league that, for whatever reason, is not on the national radar. Does that bother you?
It doesn't bother me. I remember when I was younger, I think it weighed heavy on me.
Chandler Jones has been doing this for a long time.
But where I am now in my career,
Keep your eyes on 55.
I feel like winning is most important for me.
The perspective at 31 is a lot different than it is at 24.
Totally different. 31 years old now. 10 years in the league.
Going to go down. And it's Chandler Jones. And the Cardinals.
2017, 17 sacks. 2019, 19 sacks. Now I see a pattern here. Are we looking at 22.5 and my guy gets a little bit queasy at work?
I don't know.
Do you think about that?
No. I spoke to Mike. I think my 5th or 6th year in the league. He called me.
Yeah.
And I remember him saying, if the difference between me and you is that it took me about 5 or 6 years to get it, to learn how to rush the passer. He said, you know how to rush the pass already. And that meant so much to me. I don't know if he remembers that phone call. But
I'm sure he does.
He called me and told me that, and I take pride in that to this day.
Chandler Jones making some money.
Yeah, that call meant a lot to him, Mike, and it was nice of you to do. It's interesting. I tried to figure out who he reminds me of. He's such an unorthodox pass rusher. And then I was on the phone with my son, Kyle, who plays offensive line in the league. He said, have you ever seen his brother, John Bones Jones, fight? And I forgot that his brother was John Bones Jones, who may be the best fighter in the MMA ever in the history of the sport. He's such a violent pass rusher with his arms and his legs. He's all over the place.
And I do remember that call, and I got to say, just like all of you, if you get a young player you respect and you love the way he plays the game, you want to encourage him. And that was my thing with Chandler. And he will be a nationally known name now. He'll be known wherever stadium he shows up because the other team's going to show up to try to block him. But they're in a division that's a tough division, especially with the Rams, because the Rams are the most balanced team, possibly in that division, but possibly in the league, because you have Aaron Donald. This guy needs 1.5 sacks to be the Rams record holder, franchise record holder for a career, even though I know my late great friend Deacon Jones would argue with that. But Deacon would be proud of this young man because he respected those guys who go out there and play the way that Aaron Jones plays. And with Raheem Morris putting Jalen Ramsey in different positions in the secondary, 9 tackles last week, he's mixed it up on defense. And whenever you're a defensive player and you had a great defense for years and your offense is almost there but not quite there, but then you get that piece that makes them go like they did with Matthew Stafford, it gives you so much more hope on defense just to get that offensive ball as much as possible. So Matthew Stafford looks like a big win so far for the Rams.
Excellent.
Terry, what about the 49ers in that division?
Oh, man. They lose Raheem Mostert, their running back. He goes out. In comes a 6th-round pick, a kid by the name of Elijah Mitchell. There's some about Kyle Shanahan. We've all said
and
that,
Mike Shanahan.
They are able to identify running backs and get them in the late rounds. And so this kid goes in and rushes for 100 yards, over 100 yards. Key to this game is just always going to be Jimmy Garoppolo, the quarterback. He needs the running game because Shanahan likes to play action. He has the Samuels. He has George Kittle. He has weapons, but they're most effective when they have play action. And have play action, folks, you got to have a running game.
Jimmy, Tennessee at Seattle.
Seattle really played well, last week, beating Indy. Russell Wilson, who I think is the best deep thrower in the entire league, he hit some bombs to Lockett and to Metcalf at 4 touchdowns, and plus Carson running the football. And the shocker of the week was Tennessee. Tennessee didn't show up. You know, Tannehill, he didn't play well. Of course, he got sacked a whole bunch of times. You know, and the big beast, running back, Derrick Henry, rushing for about 3.5 yards a carry, and the defense didn't show up, and their receivers were invisible. They were embarrassed. I'm going to tell Seattle, hey, they better not overlook this bunch. They were embarrassed. They'll play better. And if it gets to be a physical game there at the end, they don't want to see that. You know, Russell Wilson better hit some bombs early.
He's going to have a chance as Seattle gets to play in front of the home folks for the first time this season. All right, Jay Glazer is back to tell us who is in and out, brought to you by Geico.
All right, Kurt, we're going to start with the Dallas Cowboys. Their defensive line got banged up here this past week during practice. So what the Cowboys are going to do, they're going to take their first-round pick, Micah Parsons. They're going to move him from linebacker up to defensive end. He's going to play still some linebacker during the game, but they're going to use him an awful lot today as a pass rusher. This is not a plan to be a permanent move, but expect him to play a lot of pass rush end in this game. Next couple I want to talk to you about are big in the fantasy world. Look, Ronald Jones, he was told by Bruce Arians that he'll be the starter in this game. That's it, just the starter. I know fantasy fans want to know, well, is he going to be the featured back? Bruce Arians doesn't even know that. It's going to be by committee, a running back by committee between him and Leonard Fournette. And now the San Francisco 49ers. TB talked about Elijah Mitchell, and everybody in the fantasy world said, hey, what about Trey Sermon? Trey Sermon, their third-round pick, he is active today, but it's going to be Elijah's job. Also, for the Colts, Michael Pittman Jr., Paris Campbell, both those guys are banged up. Campbell's out. Pittman is in. Honey Badger, Tyrann Mathieu, Frank Clark, both those guys were out last week for the Chiefs. They're in, and breaking news here at the end, Joe Hayden, Devin Bush for the Steelers. Both those guys are out for their defense.
Wow, that's a big loss. All right, thanks, Jay. You know what? When you look at it historically, about 90% of the teams that start off the season 0-2 don't make the playoffs. So is it time for teams that lost the opener to panic? That question inspired a new game show for us.
Welcome back to your favorite game show, Don't Freak Out. The show where we question fans of winless teams and hope they... Here we go. Okay, Browns, you're on the hot seat. You seem pretty calm for a Browns fan.
Well, I've been a Browns fan my whole life.
Sorry to hear that. Here we go. Your team blew a 12-point halftime lead against the Chiefs. How you feeling?
The Chiefs are really good, and we played well. I'm not freaking out.
Yeah, but if you can't beat them with a 12-point lead, how do you ever expect to win the Super Bowl?
Oh, well, that's a good point, but we'll get there.
Plus, your quarterback threw a game-changing interception. Maybe he's too distracted with all those commercials he's been doing.
Okay, now I'm freaking out! I've been a Browns fan all my life, and this always happens! This was supposed to be our year. Where's Odell? Where is he? Ah!
Hello, Ravens. You basically gave your game away against the Raiders, making you 0-1. Feel like freaking out?
No, it's only week 2. I'm not freaking out.
Okay, but your top 3 running backs are on IR, not to mention Lamar Jackson lost 2 fumbles, and you play the Chiefs today, which could make you 0-2. Last year, no 0-2 teams made the playoffs.
Okay, maybe the critics were right about our offense. Stop, I'm freaking out! Jeez, what kind of sadistic show is this?
Okay, Packers, time to play Don't Freak Out. Aaron Rodgers looked awful.
That's fine. He had one bad game.
No. I'm talking about his hair. Okay, Giants, welcome to the show.
We could have gotten Michael to do that role. He's been freaking out all day long about his team.
True. That's good.
All right, why don't we keep the good times rolling with our Fox Bet Super 6 contest, because you at home can win $1 million of Terry Bradshaw.
I'm loaded, folks.
All you've got to do is download the Fox Bet Super 6 app, play for free, and then pick some winners. And this is exactly what the app looks like when you download it. Fans have already won nearly $5 million playing Fox Bet Super 6. As far as our picks this season, well, Michael was the only one to correctly pick a winner last week.
I picked a winner
So the rest of us are tied for second, only 1 point out. We will start with Jimmy Johnson with this week's pick. Jimmy.
Well, Kurt, for the first time in years, I didn't win the pick contest last year. And Michael, I'm only 1 point behind you. I'm going to pick the Rams by 7.
Ooh, that was hard, Jimmy.
But if history tells us anything, Jimmy's picks in Miami are not good. I'm going to go Kansas City on the road at Baltimore by 5.
I am going to pick the Saints, who I love, by 6 over Carolina. How's that?
Like it.
Well, I know it's going to be tough because they're on the road, on the East Coast. The 49ers, I'm going to pick them by 3.
Ooh. Are you with us next week?
The Buffalo Bills on the road to bounce back and win, beating the Miami Dolphins.
There you go, Kurt.
All right, that'll do it for us. Jimmy
Next
Johnson,
week, are you here
we'll
with us?
see you live in person next week.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay,
2 thumbs up. For those of you sitting back at home like Jimmy, if you're getting a late game, come on back with us. Everyone else, your kickoff is next. It's week 2 in the NFL, and the Fox schedule's loaded. Thanks for watching Fox NFL Sunday, powered up by Ford and the all-new, all-electric Ford F-150 Lightning.